That's right, folks. Non-League to Legend is here this time tomorrow, and I'm very, very excited about it. What it does mean, of course, for this series is that it's not going away, but it is dropping down to secondary series status. Non-League to Legend is moving into that 4 p.m. slot, and we're probably going to have a couple of days off of the Manchester United series, just because I can't do 3 videos a day. And in addition to Non-League to Legend starting tomorrow, I've also got first looks at all of the FM Mobile, FM Touch versions. So we've got FM Mobile itself, FM Touch on PC, on iPad, on Switch, Football Manager on Stadia. We've got like a lot of additional videos that I need to put in that 7 o'clock slot. So anytime I've not got one of those, there'll be a Man United video. Man United will definitely be back by the weekend. And we're definitely going to play out at least this season. If we win everything, this series then ends. If we don't, then we do another year and it will slot into that 7 p.m. slot. But yeah, don't panic if there's no Man United video for a few days. It will be back soon. Hello and welcome to part 19 of my FM20 beta save of Manchester United. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have the second leg of that Shakhtar game from the last episode, and we're also playing Newcastle in the FA Cup, because why not look at cups? In fact, we're not. Or are we? So we've got Chelsea and Man City in there. I want to show you both of those. That's why we're doing Newcastle, because I then want to show you Chelsea and Man City. It was originally going to be Shakhtar and Man City, but the Man City game got moved because of the Newcastle FA Cup game. As you can see, we've lost again to Arsenal in the Premier League. They've beaten us twice this season now. We also only drew against Bournemouth. So the Premier League, despite hitting the business end of the season, only 8 games remaining, is starting to get a little tasty. 8 games left. We're only 2 points clear now of Liverpool, 6 points clear of Manchester City, and we've now got to play Chelsea and Manchester City. So that will be the next video. Not tomorrow, because it definitely won't be tomorrow, but at some point later in the week we'll have the next video, and it will be Manchester City and Chelsea, and then we'll see where we end up from there, obviously with hopefully a Champions League run as well, which I'd like to continue now. And this is the team we're putting out there for the second leg against Shakhtar. Remember, the first leg was a disaster because of snow. I'm hoping there'll be less snow in Manchester and we might be all right. So we're going with De Gea in goal, a back four of Gaia, Maguire, Diaz and Wan-Bissaka, Kessie and Eriksen in midfield, Rashford, Rodriguez and Sancho behind Kane up front. So let's get into the game. I know it's not completely full strength. For example, no Pogba. Having Rodriguez in ahead of Olmo is unusual. But it's all about just keeping the team fresh and rotated at this stage of the season. I think this is a game we should be able to win comfortably with this 11. It's one of the reasons we've gone out and signed so many real high quality players, is so that we can rotate them around in all these big games that we're playing. And there is Harry Kane with goal number 17 for the season to put us 1-0 up on the night, 2-1 up on aggregate. We obviously have that away goal from the first leg as well, and hopefully this is goal number 1 in a run of lots of goals. I want to win like 6-0 today. That would be nice. Jayden Sancho has picked up a knock. We do have Everton on the bench. If we score again, I'll take Sancho off. I don't necessarily want to make that change and then have Shakhtar go up the other end and score and take tactical decisions away from me. But if it starts to become clear that we're going to win at a trot, Sancho can come off. And Sancho himself has scored, and I think that can be his last kick of the game, because we just need to protect him. He's got a foot injury. Let's take him off so he can rest his foot. Everton can come on and play on that right-hand side where he's played oh so excellently so far this season. 13th goal for Sancho as well, by the way. We've got a number of players who are scoring a lot of goals, which is awesome. It's not just Harry Kane scoring goals for fun. We've got Sancho and Rashford both well into double figures as well. And I imagine Olmo, Everton, they're probably closing in as well. Bearing in mind they came in when they did, we could potentially have 4 or 5 players well into double figures, with more than one pushing past 20 by the time this season's all said and done, which would be delightful. Wan-Bissaka now playing the ball forward for Everton to chase it. He does. He's in, and probably could have done a little bit better there. I would have taken it an extra step or two towards the goalkeeper and then had a shot, but Everton obviously had his own idea and it didn't come off for him. But here's Guy on the left-hand side, plays it across to Rushford. Everton not quite able to get the header towards goal. Wan-Bissaka plays it back into Everton again. Eriksen from range, and it's 3-0 on the half-hour mark. And this is more like what we were expecting from that first leg. This is why I went there tiki-tackering without looking at the weather report, because I looked at Shakhtar and thought we should beat this lot really quite comfortably. And this proves that I was correct. And as we go towards the second half, we might have to make a few more changes with a view to just looking after some of our players. Although it's not like we've got a whole load of reserves on the bench. That being said, Kessie's now picked up an injury as well. So anyone who picks up even the slightest of knocks can just come straight off. Pogba can come on for Kessie. Not a bad substitution to be able to make, is it? World-class midfielder for world-class midfielder. That'll do. So Pogba comes on, playing in the box-to-box midfielder role with Eriksen alongside him as the playmaker. I do quite like Pogba as that box-to-box midfielder. I know there were a few people quite early on saying that's how I should be playing him, but with Goretzka knocking around the place and McTominay, we needed someone to be the creative force in central midfield. We just scored from absolutely nowhere. It's Rashford with his 16th of the season, but with no highlight. We'll have to have a look at this on the replay and work out what's just happened. So Eriksen has the ball fairly deep. I guess he just plays it across to Rashford. That's where we started to see it from. So the game didn't realise it was going to be a goal until it was basically in the back of the net. But Marcus Rashford now goal number 16. He's almost scored as many goals as Harry Kane, and it's almost exclusively from that left wing. I said it in the last episode. Marcus Rashford is awesome. Right, in the spirit of that, I'm tempted to take him off, but actually I might bring Olmo on. Just the more game time we get into Olmo, the better, because he's very young, already an elite attacking midfielder, still only 22. He's definitely the future in that attacking midfield role. James Maddison sat there just shaking his head. I don't even know what he looks like. I've never met the man. I think he played a Carabao Cup semi-final, and that's all we've seen of James Maddison since Olmo came in. And I'm happy. If Leicester asked for him back now, they could have him back at a discount, because there's just no point us having him. But that's part of the fun of being Manchester United and having all this money. So we are through to the next round. Now we're going to play Newcastle. I think before that, though, we're going to get the draw for the next round. Those two aren't too badly injured, which is excellent. Give Christian Eriksen a pat on the head. And now I think we have a Champions League draw. So here we go then, Champions League draw. Let's go view draw. So still in the competition, we have Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Inter, Lyon, Monaco, Bayern, us, and the good old Juventus Zebras, which is what they should call themselves. I mean, there's no easy games at this point, is there? I guess I'll take Lyon. Of all of them, Lyon is probably the most preferable. Lyon away, please. Lyon at home, please. So we can't do the saying our team 3 times. I don't know if it works the other way around. Let's try it. Lyon. 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 No, it only works if you're the away team, it seems. So we've got Inter, which is interesting. That's going to be, I mean, there's some big games in there. But we face Inter. I don't know how good Inter... Oh, do we have the semi-final draw as well? I wasn't aware it happened like this. I know it happened this way in the UEFA Cup, in the Europa League last year. Well, I guess we'll take this. Bayern are going to beat Lyon. We don't want that one. Good, we didn't get it. So we're going to face, if we beat Inter, we face the winner of Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. I mean, it's not going to be easy to win this tournament, is it? Inter are currently third in Serie A, well behind Juventus, actually, 10 points behind Juventus. I guess that's reasonably winnable, but then presumably, yeah, if we look at La Liga, they're the two best teams in it. So whichever one of these two we end up facing, assuming we can make it past Inter, that is going to be a big test. Bayern Munich, we already know we can beat. Lyon, I'm confident we could beat. Same with Monaco. Juventus are a little bit of an unknown quantity. But I can't be too unhappy with that as a draw, I don't think. Have they moved the Man City game again? So, let's have a look. Oh, give me the schedule. Please make it so you don't have to scroll this. For goodness sake, Sports Interactive. We only have one leg of a quarter-final. We have a second leg but no first leg. The game's broken. Let's just go play Newcastle and hope the first leg appears. I know there were a few people last year who wanted to see the youth intake. So this is the youth intake. No, it's not. Why is he in the youth team? Why are all these in the youth team? No, the important part is this is the new youth intake. So if we sort them by potential, the only one potentially any good is this guy, Joel Holden. But even he is never going to get there. And obviously, he's 16 years old. We're going to win the Champions League before he's ready for the first team. I am sure of it. So you'll never see him play. But there's your youth intake. Have we got a first leg yet? Yeah. So the Man City game's been moved again. So I'll figure out what to do in the next episode. It will probably be Chelsea. In fact, I think I'm going to play Newcastle offline now. We'll do Chelsea in the second half of this episode, and then we'll do both legs of Inter in the next episode. And then we'll worry, because then we've potentially got a Man City-Liverpool double-header. Although I guess that'll be separated again if we get through to the semi-final. But Newcastle now takes place offline. We'll be back in a second for Chelsea. Well, Newcastle beaten, thanks to another goal from Jayden Sancho and a man-of-the-match performance from him, which means we now have an FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool to slot in to this ever-filling up schedule as well. We've just had a 2-week international break where 43 of our players went off to play international football, and now we're back to face Chelsea in, I mean, is it a must-win game or just a must-not-lose game? I guess a win would be lovely, but we're going in with our counter-attacking system, the 5-3-2, and I think this is pretty much the same players that played in it last time we used it, although we might have had Eriksen in rather than Olmo last time, but we're going with De Gea in goal, a back four of Maguire, Martinez and Diaz, Gaia and Wan-Bissaka as our wing-backs, Pogba, Kessie and Olmo in midfield, and then Rashford and Kane up front. Let's get into the game. We'll just keep things tight, hit him on the break. Once again, playing Marcus Rashford ahead of the likes of Edouard, Haaland, all these strikers everybody loves. But he's Marcus Rashford. He's super quick. He is the ideal man to have up front in a counter-attacking system. Plus, it's, I haven't lost sight of the fact I'd like to do an all-English 11 at some point, and building a partnership between him and Harry Kane helps with that. Although, obviously, a lot of the more recent signings make an all-English 11 a little bit harder. But I'll try and do it before the end of the season. If we get the league title wrapped up before the end of the season, we'll play a game in the league where it's just English players, just because I'm interested to see if we can do it. And I think we probably are most of the way there now. I think central midfield is the area we're probably going to struggle, because do we have any English central midfielders? I don't think we do. Perhaps have to play without a central midfield. But that's all stuff for the future. For today, we should be worrying about beating Chelsea. Half an hour gone, and we've sat back and let them attack us to little effect. And that's exactly how the game plan works in this kind of scenario. We want to avoid conceding a goal, and if we get the opportunity to hit them on the break, we'll hit them on the break. I would imagine they've got more incentive to go out and attack in this game than we have. We have been the better team here because we've done our game plan. But they're down in 5th place, and they need to catch up with Man City to get into the Champions League, which is a tall order because City have 2 games in hand on them. But Chelsea absolutely have to win. So at some point in this game, they're going to have to go at us. And at that point, that's when we hit them on the counter-attack, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Is that them going for it now? No. Bringing on Tammy Abraham. I'd like to win, but if they're not going to attack us, we can't really counter-attack them, which is a bit of a problem. We'll bring Eriksen on in midfield. We'll bring Edouard on for Kane. And we're saving 1 substitution for... What can we do here? We probably need to have him doing that. We're going to save 1 substitution for bringing on Sancho or Everton if we need to go and find a winner from somewhere, or an equaliser, I guess. Let's show some passion. We've had one shot and we missed so far. It would be nice to have another shot. Could this be where we get our against the run of play goal? It's Gaia with the free kick in swinging, and we have scored. Edouard's come off the bench. It's our first attacking highlight of the game, and Edouard gets his 11th goal of the season. It's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. Shut up shop now. This is game plan to the letter. We got an opportunity. We've scored from the opportunity. Now don't mess up. We're attacking again. What is this? We're supposed to be defending. Pogba, back to Gaia. Gaia, cross comes in. Edouard's there again. He's scored again. I told you Chelsea would have to come at us, and when we did, and when they did, we'd punish them. And punish them we have. Edouard's come off the bench and turned the game on its head with 2 goals in, 3 minutes? It's, I'm happy with that as a substitution. Tactical genius Kev strikes again. That's why we want a variety of players knocking around the club. That's why Edouard's still here. He's not going to start regularly, but he's got that in him, and that's important. Right, Wan-Bissaka is shattered, but we don't have a right back to come on for him. Pogba's not playing well, but we don't have a central midfielder. I don't know that there's another change we need to make. What we could do is maybe take off Pogba, bring on Sancho, and we've done this before in this system, and just kind of drop back to this, because then we can make him box to box. We can have him doing that, and these two can both be inside forwards doing that, and just leave it as that, just really for fresh legs more than anything. I know we don't necessarily know. I mean, how demoralising must that be for Chelsea? We've just done that to them, and now we bring on Jayden Sancho, who has been in incredible form recently. Oh, blimey. Good job De Gea's paying attention, because Chelsea were in there, but it's a lovely point-blank save from De Gea. It looks like Loftus-Cheek was offside, actually, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. But good to see Big Dave still on his toes. It's Gaia with another free kick. In swings it again, and Harry Maguire this time is just over. Edouard should have been hovering to get a hat-trick. A hat-trick of headers from Gaia crosses would have been an excellent way to rubber stamp a counter-attacking defensive system. Eriksen plays it forward to Gaia, who's charging forward on the overlap again. Charges past Rashford, who's dropped back to cover for him, which is lovely. That's why you go for the wide players a little bit later on. We've now got both Rashford and Gaia chasing back, and the ball is cleared, looking for no one in particular, and I guess aiming for a position Sancho could have been in if we weren't defending, but he was nowhere near it. But there's Sancho doubling back again, and we've got 2 wider players both getting involved defensively now, which that's quite nice. I like that shape. That's a nice shape to have. De Gea plays it forward, looking for Edouard. Can't win the header. Wan-Bissaka does get hold of the ball, though, and it's with Sancho. Plays it into Edouard, who beats his man. Edouard surely for a hat-trick, and it's saved by Kepa. It doesn't matter, because we've won the game anyway, which puts us 5 points clear of Liverpool at the top of the league. Liverpool still have a game in hand, but 5 points is 5 points at this stage of the season, and it's obviously not a foregone conclusion that they're going to win their game in hand. So that is a massive result. Tactics again. I don't know what's happened to me. What's got into me? Tactics that are working. Right, so next episode, we're going to do both legs of Inter. And then, potentially a triple header. Liverpool, City, Liverpool. 2 home games against City and Liverpool is massive. We could have the league won by there, but obviously we'd like a Champions League semi-final in there too. I don't even know when the next episode is yet, but you can guarantee the next 2 or 3 are going to be epic. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.